Personal finance advice tells us to save a percentage of our income and invest our savings into assets that generate returns. All this is good advice, but the issue is that if you are in your 20s or in your 30s and you are not where you expect to be in your life, financially, emotionally, physically, this advice about investing in the stock market or investing in some other assets may not be right for you. And you may wonder why. Before I tell you why, let's deal with what an asset is. Rich Dad Poor Dad, the book written by Robert Kiyosaki, defines an asset as anything that puts money in your pocket and increases in value over time. By this definition, obvious assets like stock, like real estate, like bonds, are truly assets, but there's another asset that you are overlooking, and it is the asset of you. Yes, you watching this video right now, you are your first and your most important asset. Think about it. By the definition of what an asset is, you put money in your pocket every month if you have a 9 to 5. You go to work, you earn an income, and you put money in your pocket. And ideally, like every good asset, your value should increase over time. So, for example, for me, the income that I was earning in 2015 when I entered the workforce is not the same income that I'm earning now in 2024. What has happened is that me as an asset has increased over time, and every month I'm putting income into my pocket. So the first thing I want you to get out of this video is that you are an asset and you are your first and most important asset. When you are still in your 20s and in your 30s, a large part of your net worth is actually the future value of the income that you generate over your life. So in your 20s and 30s, you may not be asset rich in the sense that you may not have like millions in stocks. You may not have a property yet. You may not have, a huge retirement fund. But the point is that in your 20s and your 30s, you still have many, many years of earning ahead of you. And that's why it doesn't really make sense to invest all your money into a stock market, invest all your money into things that, yes, they will yield return. They will give you a 10 or a maximum 10% return on a yearly basis. But I'm telling you that if you invest in yourself, the ROI, the return on investment that you will get from investing in yourself can be as high as 30, 40%, sometimes 200%. And a very good example for me is like, before I invested in myself, I went to business school, and I'll talk about that more in the video. I was earning in Naira. If you know anything about Naira and dollars, the exchange rate now between Naira and dollar is about 1,200. Let that sink in. There's no bond, there's no real estate that will give you that amount of return in 2 years. That's the power of investing in yourself in your 20s and in your 30s. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you personal ways in which you can invest in yourself this year, physically, emotionally, intellectually, all the ways. First, let's start with the physical. When you meet people, when you meet a stranger, the first part of you that the world interacts with is your physical presence. So this year, here are some ways in which you can invest in yourself physically. The first one, obviously, is your appearance. How do you present yourself? Experts tell us that over 70% of communication is non-verbal. So that means when you meet someone and you're communicating with the person, people are judging you based on subconscious things. They're not just judging you and hearing your communication based on the words that you speak alone. They're also judging you based on how you present yourself. For example, you are watching this video, I'm speaking words to you, but there are also things in my environment, how I've dressed, my background, the quality of this video, that are communicating things to you that I'm not saying. Those things are subconscious, they're subliminal. And you as a person, every time someone meets you, you have a lot of subconscious, unconscious communication going out of you. You are projecting things to people when people meet you. And people are making assumptions about who you are just by your presence. I'm sure you've experienced this in your life where you meet someone, maybe you see them on social media, you don't even meet them in real life, or you meet someone or you know someone and for some reason you just don't like them. You cannot place your hand on it, but you just know that, I don't like this person, I'm not going to get along with them without even hearing from them. The same thing happens with you. In terms of physical appearance, the first thing is skin. I really started taking deliberate care of my skin in 2022, and I can tell you that it makes a difference. Like, I have people that meet me and their first compliment is, you have great skin. You know, you're glowing. And I'm like, yeah, is the skincare? And like, by even just taking care of my skin, beyond the compliment that I get, it makes me more confident. And when you're more confident, you're more likely to take risks. You're more likely to go for things that, you know, you truly want, whether that is professionally or in your personal life. So the first thing is skincare. And skincare does not have to be very expensive. Like, my entire skincare routine is less than like $100. Like, I began skincare with very, very cheap products because I did not know whether I needed it. I did not know if it was going to work. So I found like the cheapest vitamin C serum, the cheapest like face cleanser, and I just started using it and it has been amazing. So just figure out, learn about your skin. If you do not have clear skin, you have acne prone skin, if your skin is dry, your skin is oily, just take a few minutes to read about your skin. If you don't even know what kind of skin that you have, like Google it. There are many tests online that will tell you the kind of skin that you have, what you need to be doing to take care of your skin, and like just do that. Like I have like self-care days where I do like a body scrub, I wash my face, like taking care of your skin. That's the gist. If you're a woman as well, like learning to do your makeup, honestly, if you're, you know, everybody does not have to use makeup, but if you want to, if you use makeup, go on YouTube. There are multiple videos of people that are teaching people how to do their makeup. Learn how to do your makeup, learn how to draw an eyebrow, learn the best foundation for your skin, learn the best concealer for your skin, like even your hair as well. Like put the effort in making your hair. Like just take care of your appearance this year. Another way in which you can invest in yourself physically this year is fashion. This area is something that I feel like many people ignore. We just like buy clothes. You just see something nice on someone and you just buy it. What if what you are buying doesn't fit you, right? I started researching about body types last year. I started understanding what is my body type? Everybody has a body type. What's my body type? What kind of clothes fit my body type? And this year, one of the ways I'm also investing in myself is I'm taking note to dress up to fit my body type. So like what necklines, you know, fit you the best? I noticed that V-neck apparently fits me the best. So I'm trying to wear that more. You know, what color suits you the best? And this can also be through trial and error. Like I know some colors that if I wear them, it's going to give everything that it is supposed to give. Like figure that out. Dress in a way that makes you feel comfortable. It could even be little things like accessories. That's one of the things that I want to actually do more of this year. I want to wear more earrings. I want to wear more bracelets. I want to wear more necklaces. So I just feel like those little things take, you know, a basic outfit from, you know, a low level to high level. And in 2024, 2023, it's so much easier to do this. If you go on TikTok, if you go on YouTube, there's so many style influencers. Find one that has the same, you know, skin color as you. Find one that has the same body shape as you and follow that person. Like there's Pinterest, copy and copy until you get creative. So this year, invest. Another thing you can do to improve your physical appearance this year is invest in fixing, and I use this term lightly, I'll call it defects, okay? Defects, and I mean no offense by this. But one thing about me, and you may not know if you just started watching this channel, is you can see I have really nice dentition, but 10 years ago, I did not have this dentition. When I was a child, I fell down, you know, a bunch of stairs, and I broke my front tooth and I twisted it. And I carried it like that for many years. You know, I was confident with it. Like if I were to show you pictures of me 10 years ago, I had a beautiful smile. I used to smile with my teeth the way it was, right? My front teeth was like brown because when I fell, it was stained with blood. But I always knew that whenever I can afford to fix it, I was going to fix it. So what I did is that when I got my first real job that had health insurance, I took advantage of that and I did like a root canal and I fixed that too. Now that I'm in the US and I have better health insurance, I'm on braces. Maybe you can see now, but I have Invisalign on. I have like transparent braces on. And I got that last year. So since last year, because I had like an overbite. And since last year, I've been investing in getting my teeth aligned, my smile aligned. Now, it's a very little thing. Like, it's a very little thing, but it just goes a long way to boost your confidence. It goes a long way to just help my overall, you know, appearance. So If you have a job, you have health insurance, research it. If you have like anything that is fixable, right? Go ahead and look into fixing it. And teeth is one way. That's an example. I don't have any other examples, just that one, my teeth. So if you have any defect, try and do your best to fix it. And I think last as well, in line with physical appearance, is getting fit, right? If you do not like the way your body image, maybe you feel personally that you're overweight, or you feel like you could be a little bit fit. And I'm going to myself as an example again. In 2022, I actually gained like 10 kg, and I'm a slim person. I've never been, obese or fat or overweight. And I remember when I was telling everyone then, I was like, I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I look. People were like, you're slim. This is not a big deal. Like, why are you worried about it? Like, you should be happy. You should be grateful. You should be lucky. But I knew that I did not like the way I was showing up. Like, I was buying clothes, and the clothes that I was buying was like 2 sizes above what I typically always wear. And I knew that, I needed to fix it. And how I invested in it was like, I bought a book about like dieting. I figured out, I bought a lot of courses online, because I know that like, I'm a Nigerian, I like Nigerian food. I'm not cutting out jollof rice, that's a no. I'm not cutting out like egusi soup, that's a no. So I had to figure out like how to eat the food that I love without it like making me blow up. I hired like a dietitian. I invested in someone who created like a meal plan for me using the foods that I liked. I invested in, measuring cups. I invested in like a scale, and I took this thing seriously. I didn't work out, I didn't go to the gym, but I lost the 10 kg. And now I'm in the way that I want to be, but I want to get fit this year. And one way that I plan to invest in myself, I'm not sure, but one way that I could is I could hire like a physical trainer. So if you have the extra money, sign up to a gym, hire a dietitian, join accountability groups, hire a physical trainer. Those are little things that you would do that will boost your confidence. And just to recap, this whole physical appearance thing is not for anybody. It's just for your confidence. So just look at yourself. If there's anything that you feel takes away confidence from you, then invest this year. Before you buy Apple stock, before you buy Tesla stock, invest in improving your own confidence based on your physical appearance, so that you can show up how you want to show up. If you show up on a date, if you show up in an interview, you are giving it your best. There's nothing on the physical that is leaking your power. The next area is intellectually. Of course, we have to invest in ourselves intellectually. Look at, yourself. Take a look at your CV, at your resume. What experience do you have, and where are you trying to go? These are the questions. It's, where am I now? Where am I trying to go? What am I earning now? Where am I trying to go? And then figure out what skills do you need to acquire that will take you from where you are to where you're trying to go. It's very straightforward. An example for me about the master's was, I looked at my CV. My CV was good, my CV was strong. I had built the skills that I wanted to build. But then I looked at where I was trying to go, and I looked at people that were currently where I was trying to go, and I looked at a LinkedIn profile, and I saw one thing was constant. All of them had an MBA. It's very straightforward. Everybody that was doing what I wanted to do had either a master's degree or an MBA. I also looked at, I tried to apply for the job that I wanted to have. And I saw that for every of those jobs, one thing that they all kept asking was a master's degree. It was a no-brainer. I knew the only way to go from where I am to where I want to go is by getting a master's degree. And that was it. And the reason why this is an investment is, in going for my MBA, if you follow me for a long time, you know the journey. I had to pay for GMAT. I wrote GMAT I think 2 or 3 times. I had to pay for courses. I had to pay for books to study for the GMAT. I had to pay application fees. I applied to, I think, more than 4 schools, and applying for those schools, I had to pay for it. When I gained admission, I had to pay, acceptance fee. I had to pay, I needed money to buy my flight ticket. I needed money to spend when I was in business school. Those are ways in which I was investing in myself. So 2 years before I went for my MBA, what was I doing? I was saving, aggressively saving, and I was not investing the money in stocks. I was saving, the money was in a high yield savings account, and I was keeping the money there because I knew that I was going to invest it in myself to get in a master's. So that's the very first thing. Find 2 or 3 people, or even 5 people if you have the time, who are currently living the kind of life you want to live career-wise, and look at their resume. LinkedIn is very powerful in doing this. What do they have that you do not have? And get it. It is very, very straightforward. Also based on that skills as well. Let's say you're trying to move industries, and I get a lot of DMs from people like this, and they say things like, I studied this, but I'm trying to be an investment banker. I studied this, but I'm trying to be a consultant. How do I go about it? You need a new kind of knowledge. You need to learn something that you did not know before. There's Coursera, right? There's YouTube. There are many things I can learn on YouTube these days. There's any certification that you would like to get to signal to people in that field, in that industry, that you're serious and you know what you're doing. Invest in those skills before buying stock. Another thing as well, intellectually, is books. Books have been life-changing for me. A child that is born in a village will not know that electric cars exist. If they never see a Tesla, if they never hear about a Tesla, that child can live and die in that village never knowing that electric cars exist, never knowing that there's a world out there where light is 24 hours. You cannot aspire to what you have not seen. If you don't know something exists, it's very, very difficult for you to begin to imagine to be something that you do not know exists, except maybe God just shows you in a dream. And the way that you can expand in your mind is through books. I started reading books at a very young age, and I really love to read biographies. I still read biographies a lot till today. And the reason why I do that is I use it to expand my mind. I use it to know what is possible. I read biographies of people that I admire, entrepreneurs that I admire, business leaders that I admire. Just seeing people's experiences made me know that some things are possible, even though I did not see them in my physical environment, but someone somewhere has done them. So one way to invest in yourself this year is actually to spend money and buy books. Read. Read. Figure out what other people are doing. Learn from other people's experiences. And this is in every area. If you want to get married, if you want to be anything in your career, you want to be a good parent, read about people's experiences. Read about people's mistakes. See what people have done and expand, your mind. And I think lastly, under intellectual, is also skills to earn you money. I'm a very, very big proponent of side hustles. And one day on this channel, I'll talk about me and side hustles and my history of side hustles, because one way that I was able to afford to invest in myself is because I had side hustles. That's the very honest truth. Like all through my life when I was working in Nigeria, I had side hustles. At some point, I was designing websites for people. At some point, I was writing business plans for people. And as someone that studied chemistry, but I've picked up so many skills along the way to make me money. So when I was learning how to build a website, I know that my career goal is not to become a website designer. That's not where I'm going. But I needed to learn that skill in that moment because I knew that was a high-paying skill that will enable me to fund my dreams. So let's say you are where you are, you're not earning a lot of money, you want to, you need a side hustle, you want to increase your income. Figure out whatever skill is high paid. It doesn't have to be the skill that is in line with your career. It could be anything. I know someone that was working in accounting, and what she, her side hustle was pillowcases, literally pillowcases. I had a colleague too when I was in investment banking whose side hustle was she was selling beddings, like she was selling bed sheets and duvet covers. What is in demand in the environment that you are, and learn the skill. And you know that you are learning that skill not because you want to make a career out of it, but you are learning this skill because you want to earn extra income so you can invest in where you are going. So any skill that can make you money, invest in that. Take an online course, buy a book, invest in a mentorship program. Just invest in learning skills that make you money. Another category that you can invest in yourself is emotionally. To be successful in life, there are many things you need. One of the things that you need is audacity. Audacity. There are many people that are not as skilled as you are, they are not as old as you are, they are not as beautiful as you are, and they are making more money than you, they are doing greater things that you are currently doing. And the reason why they are doing it is because they have the audacity to try. And I'm speaking to myself as much as I'm speaking to you guys in this video. Audacity is very, very important. On TikTok, there was a trend last year that said, the Lulu is the new Solulu, okay? To be successful in life, you need to have a bit of delusion. You need to dare, aspire. And one reason why people do not have audacity and they don't try to be delusional is because emotionally, things have happened to you. Maybe it was how you were raised. Maybe it was where you were raised. Maybe it was the things that you have experienced in your life that has eaten up your self-esteem, eaten up your self-confidence, that has made you a pessimist instead of an optimist. Like, there are many things that have happened on the outside that could be affecting you emotionally. And one truth that I am learning as well is that anything you are seeing outside of your life, anything that you are manifesting in your life, is coming out of mindsets that you have. Like, I'm a Christian, so I have to give a scripture. The Bible says that guard your heart with all diligence, because out of it comes the issue of life. The Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. If you don't see yourself as successful, you will not be successful. There are many unconscious programmings that we have going on, that, to be honest, to get to where you are going in life, you need to have those things rewired. Again, from the Bible says, renew your mind. And for me, I'm talking a lot about this because for me this year, this is one area that I'm heavily investing. Now, how can you invest in your emotional life? The first way is therapy. Invest in therapy, right? And in therapy, don't just go to therapy to talk about what you are currently experiencing. Go to therapy and have the courage to be vulnerable about things that have happened in the past, your childhood experiences, your biggest failures. Explore those things and try to understand how those things have shaped you. And you'll be very, very amazed and shocked to see how many limiting beliefs that you have has come out of there. So therapy is one way to invest in yourself emotionally this year. Another way that I know and I practice before I, could afford to do therapy is actually a lot of non-fiction books. I read so many self-improvement, books, because those books are like therapy in 300 pages. If you cannot afford therapy, find books. Like, there are books, there's a book that is titled As a Man Thinketh in His Heart. Go and read those ones. There are books about trauma. There are books about childhood experiences. There are books about a lot of things. There are books about self-esteem, self-confidence. Like, focus on the softer things in your life. If you are anxious, read books about that. If you have fears, read books about that. Like, there's a time in my life that I realized that I could be a pessimist. I used to expect the worst case scenario. And guess what I did? I read a book about optimism. And it's not only about reading the book, you also have to read the book and practice what you are reading. And the last category is just tools. That's the answer, tools. There's some things that you need. There's some practical tools that you need in life, like a laptop. Like, by having a laptop, just owning it, I began to explore what can I do, with a laptop. And so I started businesses and I learned how to do website design. But one way that I know everybody can invest in themselves this year is by outsourcing things. Like, you don't have to cook all the food that you eat. You do not have to do your own laundry. You do not have to do things by yourself. I remember, and I started doing this very, very early on in my career. When I was living in Nigeria, immediately I could afford a washing machine, I bought one. By having a washing machine, I saved myself hours, and I saved the skin of my hand by not doing my clothes by hand. Even before I, bought a washing machine, I hired someone that used to wash my clothes for me in Nigeria. I had someone that would come every Saturday and they'll wash my clothes. I saved myself time, and I used that time to read for my CFE. I used that time to work on my side hustle. I used that time to, generate income. So think about your life. Like, what things can you outsource? It could be cleaning. Like, I know people that pay someone weekly who comes into their house and cleans. I know people that pay someone who does groceries for them. Like, in the US now, there's so many services. Like, there's Instacart that I can use to order groceries instead of going to the grocery store. You can buy, prepackaged meals, and you can just eat that by yourself. There's so many tasks that you can hire somebody to do. And by hiring someone to do that, you are saving time. So think about it. The time that you are going to spend maybe on doing laundry. Let's say you spend 5 hours doing laundry. How much money can you make if you put that same 5 hours into your side hustle? If you put that same 5 hours into your career, if you are currently studying for the MBA, the 5 hours you use to wash clothes, if you use that 5 hours to study for the GMAT, how much faster, would you get to your goal? Quantify that value and compare it to the cost of hiring somebody to do that task for you. So this is one way that you can invest in yourself this year. Outsource lower level tasks. There is no price to be won by being a very hardworking woman that does all the dishes, cleans the house, and spends 20 hours doing that. There's no price, okay? There's no price. I do DIY a lot. I can make my nails myself, I can do my hair, I can do my lashes, I can do my makeup. But there are times in which I'll outsource that. I'll pay somebody else to do that. And I remember I would go to the salon to make my hair, and I have long hair, so my hair typically takes like 6 hours to make. And while they are making my hair for 6 hours, I'm reading a book. Many times I go to the salon, and in the process of making my hair, I finish reading a book. I have invested in myself. I paid the woman to make my hair, but in that period, I have gained knowledge. So this year, before you take your savings and jump into Apple or jump into Tesla or jump into investing in somebody else's life, look at yourself, look at your assets, and ask yourself, how can I invest in my assets so that I'm putting more money in my pocket and I'm increasing the value of my assets? I'm sure this video has been helpful to you. I think you will also benefit from the 12-week year goal setting system, which is the system that I use to achieve any goal that I set for myself in a year. I'm going to link that video up here, and I think you should watch it. Thank you. Bye.